Anyone have any guesses at what car that is going by? I think you probably know. Do you know, Nathan?
Something with a 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honda?
Is it?
Miata?
I'm pretty certain it's a Honda S2000.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a Honda S2000?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I said Honda and Miata, so
You're covered.
I was covered, yeah.
Little four bangers.
Yep.
Yeah, that was recorded by the Topher.
Oh.
Yeah. Welcome, everyone, to unofficial episode 3 of the Daily Motor Podcast, possibly official episode 1. Kind of depends on how well it goes today. But no Max in this one, unfortunately. For those of you who caught the first 2 unofficial Daily Motor Podcasts, our buddy Max was on. Great personality, but unfortunately he chose to have a real big boy job, which is unfortunate because he's not able to screw around at noon on a Monday and record talks about cars. But we'll try to get him on again at some point because he is good for this sort of thing and has a lot of very strong opinions, and some of those strong opinions are on cars. But for those of you who may not know, got Mr. Brower, Christopher Brower here, Daily Motor resident, and Nathan,
hello,
also from Daily Motor. So we're kind of bringing in some live drive coverage and some DM test drive coverage into the Daily Motor Podcast. Kind of hanging it loose for this sort of thing. Talking about cars, talking about some of the cars that we've had recently, and then cars that are coming in, kind of keeping it light and easy if there's any news that's worth talking about, and then just sort of anything else that's relevant in the world. It doesn't have to always be car related, but anything that might be relevant. And I'm sure we'll have some sort of community aspect as well, where once these are going up, if we get comments on the previous ones, you all can either email us stuff, charlie@thedailymotor.com, or leave comments and videos. Maybe we'll address some of the more eccentric comments. Recently, both Nathan and Chris have been posting shorts and reels and various Instagram content, TikTok content, and some of the comments we get, pretty comical.
Yeah, I was reading through my comments. I posted a CT4-V Blackwing 0 to 60, or not even really 0 to 60. That wasn't the purpose. It was just to show off the launch control. And after reading through the comments, I understood why the average grade in school is a C. I stole that from Tedward. But yeah, it's hilarious to read and like think about what goes through people's minds when they comment on something, because it's just like all people care about, it seems like, is like 0 to 60 times and how fast something is in a straight line, and it's just like kind of silly.
The way YouTube commenters work is if it doesn't do 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds, then it's a horrible, garbage, slow car. And they should never put it on sale in the first place.
If it's not a Model S Plaid, they don't care.
Yep. Yeah, and someone said their Cadillac Escalade could beat the CT4-V Blackwing.
And a Veloster, don't forget that.
Oh yeah, the Veloster. Was it a Veloster N at least? Just their Veloster.
Their Veloster.
Could be.
Guarantee it's not an N.
Just think about that. You could see the speed that it goes, and even though you said it was struggling for traction because it was cold, it had snow tires, but look at the numbers, look at the specs, look at the car, look at the speed. How can someone even imagine their Escalade beating that?
There's literally a timer on the YouTube video. Like, you should watch the timestamp from when you go. And then Nathan had one recently that was the Toyota Tundra that I shot.
The new Toyota Tundra V6, and people are, it was like 5.9, 6 seconds.
Very respectable for a truck.
It's a pickup truck.
Yeah.
And no, it's too slow. My 1990 Ford F-150 could beat that. Oh, it's too slow. My Ram could beat that. What a piece of crap engine. I'm never buying a Toyota, blah, blah, blah. It's like a pickup truck doesn't need to go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. It's a pickup truck. Now, I understand if it's a TRX and it needs to go, it's poised as the fast pickup truck, like the Raptor or something. Then I kind of get it. It should have a 0 to 60 around 3 or 4 seconds. But it's just your run-of-the-mill new Toyota Tundra. Not everything needs to go 0 to 60 as fast as a Plaid.
Not only that, but people were saying things like waiting for him to put the accelerator all the way down.
He did. He brake torqued it. You could clear. This is why I think people literally they don't even watch the video and they just comment.
Yeah.
It's like
they comment for the sake of commenting.
You literally brake torqued it. You floored it. It's so easy to see in the video, and yet people make all these judgments. And you didn't brake torque it. And like someone said, quoting, waiting to see when he floored it. ...
These people weren't hugged by their fathers.
And they have to get their aggressions out somewhere, and they choose comment sections of Instagram and YouTube.
Their
They
dads
sure
had
do.
Chevys.
Yes. Speaking of Chevy, new Silverado EV came out last week. Did either of you take a gander at that one?
Well, considering the fact that it's a new car, all I read were hate comments about it.
I heard a little bit on CNBC from investors.
Oh, you've got it
about
pulled
how
up
they felt
already. Look
about
at
it.
that.
Let's see.
I have heard nothing positive about it. Personally, I think it looks awesome.
It's I think it
looks
looks
like
really
an
cool as
avalanche,
well.
like a modernized Lanch.
Well, did you see it has the fold down or like the fold down midgate like the avalanche? That's pretty cool.
I think it will be brilliant. I'm not sure about the styling though.
Neither am I.
I don't think it looks horrible.
I don't think anything. What's wrong with it?
That.
It just looks like what? It looks like an EV. They all look like that.
But it doesn't have to look like an EV. Like, why can't it just look good? Chevy's doing these squinty lights for everything, and I just realized no one in the video is actually going to be able to see this, so we shouldn't focus too much on visual
Well,
things.
can you put up a...
I could. It's going to require more work
If you're
for
listening
me.
to this,
Okay.
look it up
Well,
online and
Google.
You'll understand.
Even if you're driving, just get your phone out.
Yeah, right.
The other thing you notice Chevy trucks are doing, they have these. Look how high up the
Windows
hood
and everything
is.
are.
It's just like.
People like that though. They like to be high up.
Everything Chevy's been doing recently is these squinty eyes. It's all like the first generation, not first gen, but the Cherokee when it came back.
Oh yeah, my mom had one of those.
Very squinty
Trailhawk.
eyes. Everyone was doing the Leonardo DiCaprio like meme comparison.
I think it looks cool.
I do too.
And styling's all objective, and of course, when you see something in person versus on screen, it looks totally different. So
Right.
That's true.
I won't judge it on its styling. What are its stats?
Good. It's unlike the F-150 Lightning. It's based on its own platform, so it's an entirely electric vehicle platform, and it's going to have a very large battery, up to 200 kilowatt hours, so very large, like twice what a Model S has.
Oh,
664 horsepower.
but is it faster to 60 than a Model S Plaid?
Does it do 0 to 60 in 1.9
Because
seconds?
if not, no one will care.
I'm
There's no point in
pretty
even
sure a
talking about
Veloster would beat it.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then
An
we
Escalade?
should just
I don't know.
completely move
It's a
on. from
horrible
it.
car.
No.
Also, look at the price discrepancy. Starts at $39,900, tops out at, is the article going to say?
Definitely over 100,000.
Yes, well over $100,000.
Hang on, go back to the interior.
Yeah, the interior is pretty cool.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about the I don't like the
flat
steering
bottom.
wheel.
No, flat bottom steering wheel.
I didn't even know.
flat bottom
always-
wheels.
It looks like the steering wheel out of an Equinox.
Well, probably is. Yeah,
There's also an Equinox EV.
Really?
yeah, and
they
actually
just
that
got
one wasn't
announced.
really talked about at all. But you're right, that will be good as well.
I did not
Oh.
hear about that.
That kind of gets into the topic, and I've said this before. EVs are obviously, they're coming on strong. There's going to be a ton this year. There's going to be even more for 2023. We need to stop comparing electric vehicles to other electric vehicles and just start comparing them to other cars in their segments. I mean, how well do they drive? How are they to own? What are their costs? Because there's just too many EVs now to compare against. Like, how does it stack up?
I was
Right.
thinking about that last night. Like we always say, like an EV car versus a normal car. Where EVs are starting to become the new. Like it's going to be like EV versus a gas power. So
Right.
what I think would be a really cool comparison is the new electric Silverado or new electric Equinox versus their gasoline competitor.
I 100% agree. Yeah, looking at it both spec-wise, ownership-wise, everything. I mean, at least when you're buying a Chevy, you kind of have to make a trade-off. Do you want your head gasket to go at 80,000 miles, or do you want the battery to explode? So, trade-offs. But once you can decide which one you'd rather have, that's how you decide.
Would you rather be burned alive or left stranded in the freezing cold?
Exactly. Yeah, Chevy trade-offs.
Oh, they do explode, don't they?
Yeah,
the bolts
all the
do.
bolts,
Sorry,
yeah.
that went right over my head.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
yeah, bolts explode, and
They do explode.
mid-2000 teens Equinoxes.
Oh, the heck. Every single person I know with an Equinox they've blown up. Every single person.
One of my ex-girlfriends picked up a mid-teens Equinox, and I went and checked.
First red flag, Nathan. You should have known.
And I was like, wow, this is like it was in perfect condition. It was an LTZ. I was like, oh, it's a good car. I checked the oil.
What oil?
And I checked the oil, and it was like diarrhea, golden, like a bright. I'm like, ooh. And I'm just like, this isn't great. And I didn't want to be like too harsh about it. So I was just like, you might want to have this looked at. And I just put it back. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's funny because Chris has a similar-ish story to when he first started dating his girlfriend. She was in the process of getting a new car and was checking out
Yeah, well, when I met her, she actually had a Jeep Patriot that was a lease, and I thought Jeep stopped making that car in like 2012, so I was confused. But they all just looked the same the entire production time that
That's
they made.
Chrysler for you.
Yeah, right. So when I met her, she was, like Charlie just said, in the process of getting something new, and the Compass had just been redesigned at that time. I think it had only been out for a year or so, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting a Compass." And I was like, I am not going to be, she just has only known me for like a month. I'm not going to be that guy that's like, oh no, you need to get this, 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 and this. I'm going to let her get what she wants. And, she can deal with the consequences if she doesn't like it, because it's her decision. She's getting the car that she wants. And also like her family is one of those Chrysler only, like they knew someone that worked at the dealer. They have a family member that works at corporate. So they get their whole lives gotten the same cars from the same dealership for whatever Chrysler discount, and so she ended up with 2020 Compass Limited. It's a nice car. It has like heated steering wheel, heated seats, cooled seats, Apple CarPlay, all that stuff.
I've always liked the Compass.
Yeah,
especially the new
it's
ones
not a
with
bad car at all. In fact, she hates it more than I do. I mean, she hates the thing, and especially now, with all the press cars that we get, and
She gets to see what's better.
Exactly. Yeah. And at the time, obviously, she didn't know any better. But now she sees what else is out there in the world, and she's like, I hate this car. I need to get something else. So
she's coming over to Genesis, though, right?
Oh, GV70, I think, is going to be the next one.
There are, as much as I do like the Genesis,
I love Genesis.
There are some really nice Hyundais as well in that similar class, like a new...
Santa Fe is really nice.
A new Santa Fe, yeah, could also. I mean, I don't know if she needs something as large as Santa Fe.
She's more
Tucson would be really good.
She wants something sporty. She had before her Compass, before her Patriot, she had a V6 Chrysler 200.
Oh, those are quick.
And she really liked that car because of how quick it was.
Yeah,
it had paddle shifters and stuff.
Why doesn't she just get another Chrysler 200?
They don't make them anymore. She'll only get new cars.
Don't they have engine issues?
They have just issues.
Hers got
they have Chrysler issues.
Her sister crashed that. Or her sister didn't crash it. Her sister was crashed into. Allegedly. I don't know. But
last night I was watching a show. The line was, some asshole got T-boned by me.
Yeah.
So last week, we had two noteworthy cars, I suppose. First of which,
Definitely.
the Volkswagen Taos. Yeah. New car for Volkswagen.
Yeah, nobody's ever heard of that.
Yeah.
Everyone was asking me what I was driving last week. I'm like, oh, I've got a Taos. They're like, what is a Taos?
It's because it's brand new. And I know no one's going to be able to see this on the stream now, but I'll put up a little image for it.
It's a city.
That's a town in New Mexico, Charlie. You got to put Volkswagen.
Charlie, we're not a geography channel.
We could be. Daily map.
Daily map.
Daily Globe.
Daily Globe.
Daily Globe Trotter.
Yeah, it's a good little car. It's pretty much what all the spoiled college girls are going to get instead of Jettas now. They're getting Taoses.
What about Wranglers?
Well, that's grad student. This is like entry level, like freshman in college.
This is a lower tier.
Dad leases her a car. She drives by the Volkswagen dealer. She sees this cornflower blue, super cute.
I love cornflower blue.
Taos, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Let's get one of those." And then whatever you'd like, dear. And then you can sign and drive it for like $219 a month, and you can get all-wheel drive, which is ever so important now for everyone. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, with all-wheel drive, like our press car, you get a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic, which is not as good as just the standard transmission that comes with the front-wheel drive car.
DSG, as Volkswagen calls it.
Honestly,
not good DSG.
Sometimes I can never decide if I like all-wheel drive or not, because there are so many cases where I'm like, all-wheel drive, like I just don't need it.
Yeah.
But whenever it comes in a situation like between my Taurus and my Focus, the biggest issue I have pulling out in the Focus is I nail it and I just start spinning up the wheels, and either the traction control kicks in or I turn it off and I literally smoke one wheel as I'm pulling out into the street.
I feel like most people probably don't accelerate with the same vivacity vivaciousness.
Wait, but in the winter though.
In the rain.
Or
literally.
the rain.
Also, most people probably have some more tread on their front tires.
But like in the rain.
No comment on that.
Well, my tires are interesting. One on one side on the Focus, it's got tread on the outside, but on the inside it's a little bit more.
Are they all the same brand?
No, two and two match.
That's actually not as bad as I am.
Right.
But yeah, in the rain, that Focus that generation of engine produces so much torque at the low end. It's so easy in the rain to spin up the tires.
Sure.
Like, you don't even have to try. So I'm pulling out in rain, just traction control, then it takes so long for the traction control to stop kicking in. Then it spins up again. Once I hit like 4,000 RPM, it's a nightmare pulling out.
I can see why people would like all-wheel drive, and how, yes, objectively speaking, from a safety and driving standpoint, it is more effective than front or rear-wheel drive.
What's good is like the RAV4, where on the highway it'll disengage, but on acceleration,
that's how most of these smaller crossovers are.
Yeah.
But I will say, for a well-maintained car with decent tires and your average driver, unless you live in a lot of snow, you don't need it.
yeah.
So I had a BMW 328 Xi.
Okay.
If you're unfamiliar, X stands for all-wheel drive. And I went to school up in Midland, which is in the middle of Michigan, like its name suggests. And if I didn't have all-wheel drive in that car, I would not have made it down my street.
Really?
No. There's no way. There
Okay.
were anyone that lived on that street that I was living on, they didn't have all-wheel drive. They got stuck right at the entrance, and they couldn't get to their house.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
that was a more harsh than normal winter. But
Yeah.
if I would not have had that crappy E90 to get me through the snow, I wouldn't have been able to make it to my house.
You also had hill descent control in that car, just in case.
I did. I never pressed that button because I was scared it would break something.
In a BMW, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
The only downside I see with all-wheel drive, and an unintended downside, is you get the people who don't know anything about cars and are ignorant, and they think, oh, I don't need good tires. I got all-wheel drive.
Yes.
I don't need to stop or steer. And so they think just because they have all-wheel drive, they're Superman.
Right.
And they don't need good tires. So they drive
Yep.
around with these bald tires and usually blame it on something completely unrelated. Blame it on, like, the roads, the snow plows not doing their job, people not shoveling things.
Instead, they should be like you and drive front-wheel drive with no tread. So
And not be able to make it up hills when I'm stuck in the
exactly.
Yeah.
So we had the Taos, and overall, good car.
Yeah.
Very efficient space for kind of its packaging, like
Yeah.
well packaged. Did it have a spare tire?
It did.
Did.
It did.
Compact
Space
spare.
saver.
Still, that's
With
fine.
an amp in the middle.
That's good. Yeah,
Whatever
Sure.
that is.
Probably.
I had a couple of very specific complaints about it, and I don't know if you want me to share those now or if you want me
Go
to
for
wait.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so for one, I was driving yesterday, and it was very sunny out. The sun visors are like D tier because they are too short, and also you have to like Hulk them to get them out of their hook. And that also could have been just because it's a new car with 1,000 miles on it. They probably haven't been taken out enough.
You know they
But,
extend,
yeah.
right?
You would think that. The driver's one does. The passenger one does not.
That was your complaint too, Charlie. Because I was driving, and I'm like, oh, it extends. And you're like, it
Yeah.
doesn't extend.
Yeah, so the passenger
Talk about
doesn't
cost
extend.
savings.
Yeah.
So I had to drive like this yesterday on the highway.
Okay.
Oh, you were driving, and the sun was on the passenger side?
Yeah, and I couldn't extend it. Well, what I ended up doing was taking the driver's side out once I actually got it and stretching it over to the passenger side.
Wow.
Because it extends pretty far. But I don't know. That was just bothering me yesterday, and it like made me irritable while I was driving. So also the DSG, which we kind of already went over, it's jerky. The throttle tuning's not the best. But the thing that bothered me the most, which Charlie and I disagree on, is the rear door panels don't match the front door panels. The front door panels have this really nice brown leather that's stitched, and it matches the rest of the interior. The seats are consistent throughout the car, but the rear door panels are solid black, which is just another cost-cutting thing. Every Taos gets the same rear door panels.
What are your thoughts on that?
I did not notice that. So, but I mean,
Well, there's the argument. He didn't notice, so it must not be that bad.
I don't really think it would bother me that much.
I fully acknowledge that I am not a very visual person. Aesthetics are of low importance to me, so I yield to Chris that maybe that's more important to certain people. Like, that's just like Chris Amos at the Topher gets mad at me whenever I like scratch up my brand new Maverick with my bike, and I'm just like, it's gonna get scratched eventually.
Yeah.
So, and he's like just cringing so hard. So people have different priorities. I get that.
I will say I am visual, but it depends on what the car is. If it were, if it were my car, it would drive me insane up a wall. But if it were like a $45,000 to $50,000 car or beyond that, I would be like, all right, what the heck?
Well, that's
It is
kind
a
of
$35,000 SUV.
yeah.
I
It gets
mean,
into this interesting conversation of our Presser was 36 grand, but it was top tier. Let's see what the Taos starts at.
22.
22. Okay, so
22.9.
for like a mid 20s entry level car, I think that's totally acceptable.
Yeah, even the mid-grade, even the SE, like it wouldn't bother me as much. But on an SEL where they're going out of their way to give you an accent color on the interior, on the seats, and on the front door panels, and the dash even, why can I not have that on my rear door panels?
There you
Spend
go.
an
True.
extra like $50 and stitch some leather on the rear door panels.
Fair enough.
It's like it's such a silly thing that like a lot of people wouldn't notice, but like it bothered me.
Sure. So overall, where would you rank the car in the tier scale?
I liked the car. There were just a couple things that were just like kind of
B tier,
Like, ruined
A
it for me.
tier, C tier?
yeah B.
B?
Probably B tier.
I think that's probably fair for me as well. I think the Taos as a package is pretty compelling. I would hesitate from buying many new Volkswagens. I'm just not super confident in their cost cutting, their engineering, their like what are they getting away with sort of deal. And it's not even necessarily
they're not known for getting away with things.
They don't cheat.
They don't. What are you talking
Volkswagen is
about?
a very
You're right. Where am I getting this from?
I have no
honorable,
idea why you're thinking that.
loyal.
Yeah.
It's not even just Dieselgate. It's like it's not the fact that they did Dieselgate. It's more that I know they have to recover from Dieselgate, and then you're just kind of like, what else? Maybe
Right.
On the flip side, maybe they would be more conscious
Honest.
and try, after that, try and like.
It's not even like I feel like they're trying to deceive anything. It's just I know they have to cut corners. Things like
Yeah.
that the driver's side shade extending, but the passenger not. What else in there that you can't see are they cutting on?
But here's how I look at a press car every time we get it. I always think, how will this be in 10 years?
Right.
And
And I don't think the Taos will be great in 10 years.
And a perfect example I always think when it comes to car journalism is when Top Gear, years and years old Top Gear, when they reviewed, it was the Lexus. The
LFA?
No, it was the.
CT200.
No, it was red. We had it.
It was red.
RC?
RCF.
Yeah.
The RCF. And Jeremy hated it. He said it was heavy, wasn't as fast as them for bad looking, which is obviously objective. But he said it was pretty much a horrible car.
Yeah. I remember that.
But here's
now-
the thing. Which would you rather own 10 years later?
The Lexus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we had a RCF and I loved it. I loved the way it sounded. I loved everything about it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing of car journalism is, yes, it may be different. It's going to be a lot different in 10 years versus what it is now. And I think it's important to look at both sides of that.
Yeah, and there's some of that you have to kind of make a guess at, but there's other parts that when we're evaluating a car, say for car of the year or whatever, I do try to look at what is its general appeal right off the bat, but also how would it be to own, whether that's ownership costs, reliability, how well it's going to just age, things like that. Think like a car like the LC500, for example. Cool now and would be cool in 10 years, no doubt. Same with the Civic. Like, look at a Civic that's 10 years old. Still like, oh, that's a cool, respectable car. Whether you're a 50-year-old businessman type who just wants to drive something economical, or you're an 18-year-old. Like, either way, if it's a well-maintained Civic, still going to be a good car.
Now look at a 2006 Audi A4.
Well, I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. I'd be willing to own an A4.
I see a lot of those in junkyards.
I see a lot of
I see
those
a lot of
high
them in the
school
U-Pull.
parking lots.
I see a lot of them in the U-Pull that aren't crashed, if that says anything.
High school parking lots that are straight piped, different colored body panels everywhere.
Okay.
Stands.
Okay. If you had to pick 2006 A4 C-Class or 3 Series, what are you picking?
Death.
I'd pick the A4.
I would pick the C
With a manual.
I'd
What's
pick the
the
C-Class.
what does the C-Class look like in 06?
I think it's still
That was like a crossover, or it may have changed in 07.
it's still the old school headlights.
Yeah.
Those rust out so bad.
Yeah. I would pick the C-Class.
Can I have
I got to bring it up in the other one.
a stick shift in the C-Class? I think you could get it.
I don't think Mercedes C-Classes had not
no,
in the
they
US.
did.
I don't think.
No, they definitely did. I've seen them.
The only reason I wouldn't go BMW is I hate the steering in that generation of
It's dreadful.
series.
And the transmission's terrible if it's automatic. Those rust out so bad. Can I have an AMG? Can I have a C32?
No.
I think
Okay.
that looks so good.
I'll ride
I really love the way that looks. I used to have a toy car that looked just like that, and I think that's why I like it so much.
I think you could get a wagon back then at least.
Could have a wagon. Yeah. Well, you could get a wagon in all three of them.
Well, you could get an all-road, and it would be the worst
you're
thing
right.
in history. I was behind an all-road the other day, and I had to turn my recirc on. The smell it was producing, it gave me an instant headache. I thought I was gonna like pass out. Like there must be some gas that's putting out that is deadly. It was such a bad smell.
Look at
that's
this.
coming out of
You
that.
7-speed.
You could get a C350 3.5 liter V6 with a manual.
That's my choice.
That would be
Yeah.
pretty neat.
Yeah, definitely my choice. Or a bicycle, but probably that. Probably that. I could do with that. It would just be rusty, but whatever.
I liked the A6s of those gens, but the other car we had last. Oh wait, so Taos, we're saying B tier car.
Yeah.
I'd go with face.
So much space though in it. So much space in the back. I think you already said that, but I sat in the back seat for my review and I had so much room.
Here's my take on the Taos. I love the steering. That was like my top thing. It was a very light steering and
And quick and like responsive steering too.
very good steering.
Yeah.
I love the technology, and I love the way it looked. In that class, and for what I would use it for, which would be like city driving, I'd need fuel economy. I would put it A tier.
But yeah, that's the thing is you got to think about the rest of its class.
I'm thinking about the Escape.
Yeah,
It's smaller.
So
you're thinking
EcoSport.
Honda
Yeah,
HR-V.
EcoSport.
Yeah, and the EcoSport's horrendous.
Yeah.
Well, that you can't compare it. The EcoSport is just the worst car. So you'd have to think
I
about
still
like
haven't driven an EcoSport, and I really, really want to.
you really should go drive one because it's like the F tier.
We should do a video of
comparison.
me driving the EcoSport.
I do think we should do that video.
I can probably get us an EcoSport.
So CX-30, I would pick over the Taos.
Yeah, me too.
Kona, I would pick over the Taos.
Yeah, me too.
Kia Soul.
No.
Yeah, I love the
See?
Kia. But
Yeah, but there's
Here's the-
but then you have to drive a Kia Soul.
exactly, and that's the thing. Like, I love the Kia Soul. I don't know if I would want to
Who
show.
cares how it
show
drives?
up.
You want to drive around in a Kia Soul. Show up. That's good. You
Yeah,
want to
you
show up
wanna
in a
show
Kia
up
Soul.
in a Kia
You don't.
Hi guys, I drive a Kia Soul. Look at my multicolored speaker.
God, imagine
panels.
it's green too.
God, Car and Driver's website continues to get shittier. Why can't I see the rest of this segment?
You've got ads on the right for the Taos.
Yeah, you're right.
It's because you just looked it up. They're listening to our podcast.
You've
as
got
we
one at
speak.
the top too.
Someone at Google is listening to our podcast.
Oh, going over to the dark side.
Yeah, well, maybe their site is ranked. There we go. So this is what I was looking for. The whole subcompact SUVs. Ooh, would you
No.
take it over a Crosstrek?
I would rather eat
Me too.
The Crosstrek
glass.
is you can
than
get a manual
Crosstrek.
Crosstrek.
I don't care.
I'm not interested
number
in any
one,
Subaru
it's a
that's
Subaru.
ever been made.
Number two, that's not even an SUV. That is
It's a wagon. It's even cooler.
that's a small.
Nothing
that's
about
not a-
what. Nothing about that car is cool.
The Crosstrek
Not
is
a
the
single
best
thing.
car
It's
Subaru makes on its own.
slow
No.
engine.
It's a good car.
It looks. I don't really like the.
So we already
looks.
talked about the Soul. Seltos is fine.
As much as I
I've
like
never
the
driven
Soul,
the
I don't
Seltos.
think it should be in the number 2 spot.
Kona, good.
I like the
CX-30,
Kona.
good.
Why is that 5? Interesting. Oh, the Bronco Sport's good.
Oh,
Bronco
why
Sport's
is the
very-
Bronco Sport?
You're
down
right.
there?
Bronco Sport
Put
should
that
not be
back.
Bronco
in
Sport's a
subcompact.
good car.
Bronco Sport should be in. Should just be in compact.
Is this subcompact?
It's supposed to be subcompact.
Honda HR.
I am surprised the HRV is above.
I don't like
Taos.
the HRV.
I would put the Taos
Interior
in third or
bothers
fourth
me.
place.
Hyundai Venue's all the way down there. Wow. And the Trailblazer was not that bad either.
Oh yeah, the Trailblazer.
Oh, that's a fine piece of machinery. Why'd you skip past the Eclipse Cross? There you go.
The Eclipse Cross is the epitome of like just C tier, like
I liked
very
the
middle of the
Eclipse
road.
Cross.
I know, but what
Well,
would you,
I didn't like it, but it
Exactly.
was okay.
What does that say? Chris, did you play Pokemon as a?
I still play Pokemon.
You know the Metagross.
Yeah.
It looks like someone just took a Metagross and slammed it on the front of the.
and then the Jeep Renegade should be a little higher. That's a cool car.
Yeah.
Encore GX, I haven't driven.
Yeah, 500.
And there it
And
is.
the Echo.
Wow, they rank
Wow.
it above
Wow.
things.
Thanks.
I think
Whoa. Oh, these aren't
Oh, they're
ranked. Not
unranked.
ranked.
Oh.
wait.
You're right.
Oh, it
EcoSport
is last. All right, we're good. All is well over here.
So I'm saying B tier for the Taos because
I'll agree
there's
with
just you got to think of what else is better.
yeah.
Sex 30, definitely.
How did
I see
how did
your
the
point.
Tofers Capero go with the CX-30?
I'm not really sure. I didn't ride with him.
Oh,
for
you
his
just let him
comparison.
go do
I
his
just
thing.
I just brought him the Taos. Yeah,
Okay. You were the bringer of Taos.
I was the bringer of Taos.
Cool. So B tier for Taos. The other car we had last week, Cadillac CT4-V Blackwing.
6-speed manual.
6-speed manual.
Absolutely.
Rear-wheel drive.
Bliss.
Stupid name because V used to be top tier and now it's not.
The Cadillac CT4-V Blackwing.
V Series Blackwing.
Technically speaking, it's V Series.
Can we go to one?
Left
The
the word
first
out.
thing that cracks me up about that car, the different options.
Yes, the one we had started at $60,000 and was optioned to $77,000 with almost exclusively
Carbon fiber.
carbon fiber bits and just what do you call it?
Carbon fiber.
Decorations, if you will.
Well, it was particularly how they named the different packages. You had carbon fiber 1 package, carbon fiber 2 package. There's a.
And Chris, I don't know if this annoyed your OCD with interior design. Did you
God,
notice that
Don't ruin this car for me, please.
all 4 outboard seatbelts were red, but the 5th middle rear
Oh,
seatbelt
no.
was black?
Do you want to
Oh,
know?
no.
But wait,
Really?
wait. No, there's good news because you know how you can get the red seatbelt thing?
That was a joke.
Oh, it was?
No, yeah, you can't get the red seatbelt in the middle.
Oh, I thought there was
One of our commenters, Pittsburgh Man, made a joke that you could pay extra for the 5th red seatbelt package, but you could not. No, yeah, it's the middle seatbelt is black, even though the rest are red.
You don't need the middle seat. Nobody
take the whole
sits there.
thing.
Just
That
tuck it back. Oh no, you don't get a seatbelt. You
That-
cannot use the seatbelt. My OCD is more important than your life
safety.
if we get in a crash.
So that car had $5,000 for the Sky Cool Gray with jet black accent leather seating.
Excellent interior spec. It was beautiful.
I would not pay
Seats.
$5,000 for it though.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
You paid $4,000 for carbon fiber 1, but then an extra $3,000 for carbon fiber 2.
They just got $7,000 off of you for carbon fiber.
I wouldn't get
Yep.
any options on the car.
The performance data and video recorder, $1,600. I might pay for that, but probably not.
Yeah,
I
just
would.
stick a dash cam in it.
I'll
It's a
take-
lot cheaper.
But you get all the
Base.
data with it too.
Yeah, but like how often are you actually... I'd only get that if I were going to track it a lot. And then you have the technology package, which gets you a head-up display and an air ionizer.
I'd pay for that.
Electric blue paint, $600.
I would do that.
Though
That's
that
it,
is
though.
cool paint. Wheels, $600. That's not bad for 18-inch wheels.
Oh no, it's the same wheels. They're just gray.
Oh.
You're paying $600 for
the paint?
them to be gray.
Just have some teenager plastic dip them. Climate package, $600. That gets you power lumbar massage, since that's climate. And then ventilated driver and passenger. Would you guys pay for the ventilated seats? I think I would. $600.
Yeah, but don't you have to get the good interior package to get those?
Maybe.
So you'd have to pay like $6,000 to get ventilated seats.
I don't know if I'd do that.
Yep.
Unless I lived in the South and it was really. Look, can you get?
The seats are white. They're not going to get super hot. Oh,
Not in that.
But
Only
Nathan uses his ventilated
$6,000.
seats all the
I
time.
use my ventilated seat when it's 5 degrees out.
Why?
Because
Can you heat and cool at the same time?
in my Taurus? No.
Yeah. Oh. You could in the Taos. That should make it
Really?
an A tier.
Why on earth would you ever?
Yeah,
need,
explain this, Chris. A lot of commenters ask, why would you want to do both? Or is it a novelty
you know, like
thing?
Icy Hot? Is that what it's called? What's that thing that
Yeah,
Shaq
yeah.
did marketing
Yeah,
for?
Icy Hot.
Yeah, it's like that.
Where he's like,
yeah.
Shaq did.
Yeah.
that's why.
I don't know. It's
You
just
wanna
like,
be like Shaq?
it's like.
Do you think
no, I
Shaq
don't wanna be
O'Neal
like
gets
Shaq.
into his car? I need I'm gonna go heated seat. How does it go?
Have you ever noticed in the?
Does it go cold?
Do you know
then
when?
hot or hot then cold?
I think it. Yeah. Do you get like a cool heat sensation?
Yes.
Okay.
You should try it next time.
I guess I will have to.
Speaking of Shaq, you know when he did Buick?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Did you ever notice in those commercials they never showed him getting in or out of the car? They just had him outside the car, then they cut to him in the car.
Yeah.
That makes
The
sense.
little
Yeah.
people- no, he
Anyways.
was in the car at one point, and he was
Well,
ginormous.
yeah, they
You
just
think
didn't
they
show
just
him.
cut?
They didn't show him getting in.
Oh yeah, because it probably took 5 days. They probably had to get 5 people to wedge his.
Well, they probably had to.
7
They
foot-
probably had to put the seat back on different tracks. Seriously, if you look at him in the car, it's hilarious.
Really?
Because
Well,
he's
so-
sitting
They
almost.
probably
all
had
the
to
way
extend that. Why? So here's what probably happened. Someone in the pressing. Oh, we'll get Shaq O'Neal. Oh, that's perfect. All right, Shaq, we got you for your new commercial. Get in the car. Oh, this might be a dish.
Edit that out.
However, well, we paid for your contract, so we're gonna have to put extra extended seat rails.
Yep.
We paid $600 for the bronze brake calipers,
Worth it.
and then $400 for the 4 torch red seatbelts.
Not worth it. I'd
Coming
get
out
black
to-
seatbelts.
coming out to $77,000. But you could have a very well-equipped CT4-V Blackwing for like 65 grand, and that's an awesome driver's car. That car was so much fun. I fully feel that 450 horsepower, perfect amount of power for daily driving. For everything. I even sports car driving. It allows you to floor it and hoon it and thrash it without immediately being arrested.
Yeah, you just got to watch out for velosters and Escalades because they'll be blowing past you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, that car was just bliss.
Great chassis, great dampers. And the thing is, the ATS-V was also very good. This is better, but the ATS-4V was also very good. So if you want a good used car, like CPO, sports car, good car to drive, ATS-V, great car.
They're probably really expensive still, though.
Yeah, they are really
I guarantee they're like not much less than
But
just getting
if you want to get like something around like 9-10 grand, I'm pretty sure they're down. The first generation,
Well, just the normal
CTS-V.
Like first, yeah,
First
like old
gen.
school.
I don't think those are quite 9 grand. I think they're like
They might have been
teens.
before.
Yeah, before.
Wow, you guys are
I
right.
forgot everything.
How much are ATS-Vs?
They're like 55 grand.
Yeah, so you might as well just get.
CPO.
Yeah, so you might as well just get a CT.
Look up a
Yeah, they
2005
look better though.
CTS-V. That would be really cool.
I'm gonna say those are like 18 to 20 grand
Those
because they're all manual, so that makes them more desirable too.
Mid-teens.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: you got to look on Craigslist or Auto Tempest.
You have to go downtown Detroit. You have to find Jerry. You'll have to follow him around for a few hours.
He doesn't
but
have the title.
Yeah, no title,
There's no
and
VIN.
cash only, and you have to buy today.
or a cashier's check.
Yes.
Oh God.
Okay, but yeah, no. I mean, there's not really too much more to say. The chassis is great. Suspension's great.
The raw connected feel of that car kind of reminded me of Porsche.
Yeah, it's getting there. Getting there. The steering wasn't
Yeah.
Porsche good.
No.
But the satisfying, just having fun aspect.
The pure connected feel
Yes.
and the satisfying aspect for sure.
Every time
Reminded
we
me
have a
of
GM
Porsche.
performance vehicle, it's like the most fun time I have doing this stuff. The C8 Corvette,
Oh,
doing and ironically, it was in snow too.
yeah.
And we were doing the donuts, and I had the cool video shot getting right up close to the front of the car as you're drifting it. It's so much fun. It's just always such a laugh.
When General Motors puts their mind to building a good product, it's really good. When General Motors decides to just lob it in, it's really bad.
and it catches on fire.
Yeah. Ford is a little bit more in the middle. When Ford tries to make something really good, it's pretty darn good. And when Ford decides to not care, it's decently bad. But GM goes to greater extremes in both directions.
Yeah.
What about the EcoSport? What happened?
India.
Well, it is produced in India.
Yeah.
You know,
and designed for India, I think is more important.
did you know? Yeah, I don't think I've told you this story. Back when EcoSports started arriving at dealerships back in 2018 or 19 or whatever, Gene Buttman Ford, the dealership that I work at, like once every couple of weeks, they had an EcoSport coming. They pulled it into the showroom after it had just come off the truck, and the biggest spider they had ever seen crawled out of it and scurried across the showroom floor and was never seen again.
I'm never coming to a dealership ever.
Damn.
So,
Well,
got
that
an
sums up the EcoSport.
Indian spider in the walls of Gene Buttman Ford.
It's probably cross-pollinated with American
Yeah.
spiders and created a new breed.
Oh, God.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. The curry spider.
Edit that
didn't,
out.
it didn't scurry across the floor. It curried across the floor.
Are you allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
We won't get demonetized. So CT4-V Blackwing S-tier car.
Yeah.
Oh,
Any
easily. S plus.
The best part, it doesn't come with spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never freaking get
Where are those made? They make those in
Lansing.
the Cadillacs?
Oh, yeah.
CT4, yeah, V Blackwings. Lansing. Lansing, Michigan.
Do you hear, though, that Ford is no longer making anything in India?
Yeah. Yeah, they're like shutting down.
That's because
stuff
the only
there.
thing they made there was the EcoSport, and they're
And
killing
Well, I think they
spiders.
made things for other markets in India as well.
Maybe secretly they got in big trouble by the government for creating a new horrible venomous breed of
There you
spider,
go.
and they're in huge trouble right now. And they just won't tell anyone because they don't want the public to go into apocalypse mode.
Yep.
Oh, man.
So that wraps up last week. Before that, we had the F-150 Tremor. Surprisingly good.
That was another one that YouTube commenters hated.
Yeah, Nathan posted
I love the
the short of it rock crawling, which it wasn't that hard, but it's still just cool to
It's
see.
just- no
and they
one-
roasted it. They
no
were
one
like,
can appreciate
I
just
can
like-
do this with my G6. Like,
I can do this with my Escalade, my Veloster.
Veloster, right?
So,
Also, can I just say, if there was a car responsible for starting the pandemic, it was the Ford EcoSport. I just want to say that. Anyway, so move on.
Tremor was good.
Yeah,
I was actually surprised. I expected it to be stupid, a little pricey for what you're getting, but it had a column shifter, so it was nice.
A haunted column shifter.
Oh yeah, because if you were in drive and you shut the car off, the shifter would go clink 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 back into park, which is cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of like the
that.
BMWs that had the little thing that went bloop and popped over.
Yeah, my mom's car does that.
Nice.
I would have liked to have a leather steering wheel.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Classic Mr. Brower rant.
Well, if you're paying for the Tremor, I don't care about anything else. Nothing else.
Not true. The Ridgeline. Oh, are you referring to you don't care about anything else in the truck?
Yeah, I'm saying I don't care about.
cars
Oh no,
that-
I don't care about
Okay.
any other options. Whatever. Give me
Okay.
a base Tremor, but give me a black leather steering wheel with orange stitching, and that's it. That's all. That's all.
How were the rear door panels on the Tremor? Did they match?
They did match.
Okay.
They did.
Fair enough.
If you watched my review, you'd see
Tune
that.
in.
I-
Daily Motor.
I want to ask you guys something, and it's something I was thinking about. I haven't posted it, but I was filming a short on. I can't remember if it was it was an new F-150 Platinum. It was used, but it was like the new generation. And in that, I said the upper trim Platinum F-150s and Limiteds are not worth it. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, probably. Unless you just have
You're
so
not
much
really
money.
getting that much of an advantage tech-wise, but there's nicer materials inside when it comes to like seats and leather wrap dash, and just overall quality of the leather is better. But that's really it.
Speaking of that, Nathan, Chris Brower has a TikTok that he went around our F-150 Limited and was like pushing on all the materials, and they creaked and cracked, and that was one of your first TikToks to take off.
it got over 1 million views, and I was thinking someone from Ford was going to come kidnap me in my sleep and send me to.
So, I mean, I guess it depends on what you mean by worth it. I think a lot of people who would be willing to buy an F-150 to begin with is not going to notice that creakiness and stuff.
That's true. And it wasn't even just the creakiness. I noticed like the materials were just not that. It was kind of like with the Maverick between the XLT and the Lariat. They didn't upgrade that much with the materials, because I was looking around. I'm like where does this separate itself besides 1 million platinum badges?
What year was that truck you looked at?
2021.
Really? They've got different seats. Like the whole
They got different
seats are different.
They got different seats, but it's not like dramatically.
They're like
different.
Lincoln seats.
It's not dramatically different. It's not like a whole Lincoln dashboard.
That's true. I think you buy a Platinum because it says Platinum on it.
Probably.
Yeah.
I just get frustrated that Platinum's below Limited.
That drives me insane.
Platinum seems like
Is
it
it
should
really?
be top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Limited's higher.
Limited, you get the top engine.
Limited's got the Lincoln seats. Does the Platinum have the nice like wraparound seats? Maybe it doesn't. All right. Well, forget everything I just said.
But it's right then. That's confusing because Platinum sounds higher than Limited.
I thought the Platinum was the highest one.
Well, and the other thing that's stupid, I wish it's like you got the Ram Limited, you got the F-150 Limited. Why come up with something creative? It's like, oh, what's the top trim of this one?
Ford has been getting more
Limited.
creative with all their Bronco shit. The only problem is you never know. I don't know with the Broncos and stuff
I have
what
no
is
clue.
higher.
I can explain it to you.
Okay.
So it goes base, then it goes Big Bend, then it goes Outer Banks.
I'm fact checking.
Hold on. How many? There's base, Big Bend, Outer Banks, Badlands, Wild Track, First Edition. Right? Or am I forgetting one in there? Oh, wait. I forgot one. I forgot Black Diamond. It goes base, Big Bend, Black Diamond, Outer Banks, Badlands, Wild Track, First Edition. There's 7 of them. If I got that right, I get a prize. Base, Big Bend, Black Diamond, Outer Banks, Wild Track, Thank you very much. I have mastered the Bronco lineup.
Wow.
I had to memorize
Impressive.
that for the Bronco review.
Well, good job.
Yeah.
So maybe the problem
It's
is
cool. I like the different trim.
I am glad
levels
they're branching out. The only problem is it's not informative. Like it doesn't nothing about like if you were a skier,
If you know,
Black
you know.
Diamond should be like the top.
If you're a
technically there should be a double Black Diamond, but like
well, if you're a Bronco enthusiast, okay, and you've got a Big Bend and you're at the ski resort, someone pulls up in a Wild Track, you're like, wow.
But if you're not a Bronco owner and you're maybe interested in buying a Bronco, how do you know what's better between
you're
Outer
misled.
Banks and Big
You
Bend?
have to go to the Ford dealership. They explain it to you.
You have to go
What's the difference between
You
any
watch
other-
our podcast. That's what you
Yeah.
watch our podcast and listen to Chris Brower.
I like
right.
how Chrysler has done it with the new Jeep. Series 1 through Series 3.
That's
the
very
higher the
easy.
series number, the nicer the fucking car is.
That's easy.
Like, it doesn't get any easier than that.
That's very easy.
Or XLT. See, Ford's,
At least, yeah.
Ford's got it right. You got XL, XLT, Lariat, and for years it was just always that. Then they start adding. They add like.
Yeah, now it's getting stupider.
Yeah. It's,
No, it's-
I still
yeah.
don't know what all the trims are.
XL, XLT, Lariat, Tremor,
King Ranch.
Raptor, Platinum Limited.
And it not most brands are not good at it, but at least someone like Toyota, for example, across their entire lineup, it means the same. An LE is going to be at the bottom, and an XSC or XLE is going to be at the top.
Nissan and Volkswagen, they all do.
Yeah.
And how much of a difference is it between a Lariat F-150 and a Platinum? Because King Ranch, I know it's filled with Cowboys.
I
under-
love
EE
King
stuff.
Ranch.
Cowboys
I love King
underpants.
Ranch.
I do love
interiors.
King
Oh, they're
Ranches.
so cool. They used to be cooler though because now they're more mainstream. They used to be way wackier.
Yeah.
And now they're just like
Yeah, if you
tan.
look at the old ones, like you should pull up a picture.
It's like
of
cowhide.
a 2000.
It's
yeah.
so cool. Look up like a
It's
2003.
George Bush's underpants.
2003.
is what
Oh,
it
it's
is.
so excellent. I want to buy one of these so bad. King Rang. Go to images.
Now look at the interior. Look at that.
Yeah, right there. That's one for sale. How much is it? Let's buy it and make office furniture out of it.
Yeah, what the heck? That's like straight up leather.
Yeah, it's sweet.
All right, we cut the
Now-
cow off.
now go to a-
throw it on the seats.
Look up a 2020.
Look at that wood.
You've even got the steering wheel is two-tone. You've got brown.
Go back
at that
to that one
steering wheel.
picture that shows the
I just want to see
That is excellent craftsmanship. Oh, come on, for 2003.
this one.
That's good, but what cracks me up is just how they put that piece of wood or
This might not-
plastic wood.
That's
that
just
might
a
not
stick
be,
on. That's
yeah.
just a stick on piece.
I don't think Ford did that.
No. Well, it could have been a dealer accessory.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
I would love to own one of those.
Me
Honestly,
too.
Well, we'll keep an eye out on Copart, I guess.
Problem is the 5.4 is like garbage.
No,
But it's
not,
also
not
easy
in
to
that
fix.
not in that generation.
Yeah, it was the later 5.4s were worse.
Yep, it was the
Every single one of those I hear goes
Yeah, but it's easily fixed.
not.
by the exhaust manifold bolts breaking off, or is that the 04 and up?
I think
I think it's
04 and up they garbage because 04 and up they did the 24 valve, and that's when they had the valve issues.
Okay.
And it was the car wizard. He said the fix to that is do your oil change every 3,000 miles.
Okay.
And obviously that's a pain, but he said it like if you don't want it to go bad, because all it is, it's just sludge that just gets in everywhere and just clogs up the valves.
Okay.
He said if you don't want that to happen, you just do your oil changes like every 2,000 or 3,000 miles. So it's a trade.
I thought the 03s had the issues where the exhaust manifolds started to get little gaps because the bolts would like back out and break off. Or the exhaust manifolds that have exhaust.
A new Chevy Bolt catches on fire, so I would not be surprised if that happens.
Okay.
We also had the Wrangler 392, which was a sweet car.
Yes.
Very cool. Yes, stupid, but
That's why it's good.
stupid.
That
Yeah,
one
yeah,
made
yeah.
me all wet.
Literally because he got rained on. Or not rained, but I went
We
through a
went through a
big,
puddle, and all of a sudden it just started
Water get
pouring
in?
in through the door.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
I love that water can get in. That's good.
It's a good thing Jeep made the interior completely waterproof. That was a feature because they said, you know what? The roof leaks. So what we're going to do is make the entire interior waterproof.
That's the kind of thinking I like.
Yeah.
very thorough.
It is. And I also like how they just put a 392 in it and changed nothing else.
I think this comment sums it up best. We got an hour ago on your review. No, this one I haven't read you this one yet.
Oh, really? Oh.
This has got to be the dumbest vehicle ever made. Absolutely no need whatsoever
agree.
for that much power and noise in a Wrangler. Nope. Crap MPG. I absolutely have to get one.
Yeah.
Ordered a 2022 392 XR. Everything I want in a Jeep.
Yes.
It is the
No, that's great. That's perfect.
That's 100% it.
It is the dumbest, the stupidest, the most wasteful, the most scary, worst car you could buy, and that's why you should buy
And I'd
it.
pay $1 million
There's
for one.
zero reason to ever own one of those things, but for the fact that it's hilarious.
Yeah. I wonder what they'll be like used in like 10
Even
years.
more expensive.
No, what scares me the most is the college girls that will get their hands on those.
There's just the only one the dealer had in the color she wanted
I
is
need
the
a Jeep.
392. And the dad's just
Okay,
like,
honey.
okay.
130 down the highway, weaving through the car.
She's like bahaing over the speed bumps on campus.
Just
with
running over the
valves
Priuses.
The other comment we got that is not correct is a stupid and pointless engine in a good vehicle. Dumb, 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 waste.
You know, I'd actually say it's the other way around. It's a shitty vehicle otherwise because I'd never have a Wrangler other than the 392 because that's what makes it fantastic.
You just got our whole podcast flagged. Inappropriate language.
You said the F word earlier.
There is now
Saying the
there is now a
Wrangler's bad.
missile.
Oh,
There is a Hellfire missile coming from Jeep.
Yep. Right up from Toledo where they're built.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't get the appeal of.
I know, they are bad cars.
I
but
get
they're
the
good cars 'cause
appeal
they're
for
bad.
off-roading.
Yes.
Like whatever, but
People who
horse.
daily drive Wrangler, especially Rubicons, are idiots.
I would rather daily drive a Kia Soul than a fully loaded Jeep Wrangler. I'm sorry, but I just would. Unless it's a 392. But I don't even really want to daily that. I would just like to have it for weekends to go be obtuse.
Yeah.
The first Wrangler I ever drove was the plug-in hybrid, and it
That was
was
scary. I drove that from Plymouth to Ypsi, and I was scared for my life because the steering was pulling me all over the place.
and that's the thing. It was horrible, but I loved it at the same time. I wouldn't want to own one. I wouldn't want to daily drive one. But it was one of the most fun cars I've ever driven.
It is quick, that one. It's like 365 horsepower.
And then you get the 392, and it's like, and the thing it
the whole
feels like
thing
you're
yanks
it
to the
feels like
left.
you're
It
on
like
the
twists the frame.
feels like you're driving a boat because you don't feel. It's like, you know, on a boat when you like turn and it takes a little bit, like, and then you turn it back and slowly kind of come. That's exactly what the Jeep does.
You have to plan your inputs way in advance.
All right, I'm coming up. That's about a mile away. I better put this on the map. All right, I'm gonna need to turn about here, and about a minute or so later, it'll start to turn.
Yep.
It's like, you know, those big freighters that take 2 miles to turn.
That's a Wrangler. Yep.
Yeah.
This week, fun week of cars, we have, starting off, the Grand Cherokee Limited. The new
I
Jeep
am
Grand
so
Cherokee.
excited for that.
Looks nice, should have a nice interior. I don't think the Limited is the top trim, but it's close.
Really, the Limited's not the top trim. That's surprising.
This adds to our discussion that we just had.
Yes. Limited and Grand Touring are the two most overused words in the car world.
You just gave Chrysler all the credit for making their trims, I guess only on the Grand Wagoneer.
No,
Yeah,
I said the
just-
Ram has the same issue as the F-150. The top trim is the Limited.
Let's compare more
The website confusing.
spec. It's not too bad. No, Jeep's website isn't too bad.
Are you gonna put it up there so we can all see it?
No. Yeah, I can do that. Sure. You guys are so needy.
That's the old Grand Cherokee.
Oh, son of a bitch.
4X.
New Grand Cherokee. Thank you, Jeep.
Knowing Jeep, they'll still sell you the old Grand Cherokee. They'll just call it the Grand Cherokee Classic.
You can still buy. Oh, son of, my headphone cable's tied. What's happening?
It's around the chair.
So you can
There we
get
go.
a.
Anyway, you can still buy. If you go on Ram's website, you can still build
the
in
Classic.
price. Yeah, the Ram Classic.
I think that's smart because some people don't want to pay all the new money for
is it
that.
But
because
it's
of
still
leftover
it's
materials
still
or
more
probably
expensive than the base model new
Is
Ram.
it?
Yeah, because I was thinking like what's the benefit of me buying the old one still? Is it cheaper? No,
Truck buyers are weird.
they are weird.
So you can get a Laredo, that's base, and then you have Altitude, Limited, Trailhawk,
Are there more? There are more.
Overland, Summit, and then Summit Reserve. God damn it, Jeep. Just make it simpler. All you need is Laredo, and then something in the middle, Altitude or something.
No, you just
And then
Laredo,
Limited.
Trailhawk.
Summit.
All right, here's what
That's it.
you don't need Summit Reserve. Just
Right.
make Summit the Summit Reserve.
Right.
What it would be. Overland, that's also necessary.
What is the
Go
extra
up.
$6,000 getting you?
I'm not even. Don't even.
Don't even
You
click
got
on it.
You don't need Limited.
Yeah.
Altitude and Laredo.
Oh, we're
those
getting
are
like
fine.
a base model.
I know what the fuck we're getting. It's you hear Limited and you're like, oh cool, we're getting the top dog. No, we're getting the third
You're
from
right.
the bottom.
What
We're
the
getting
heck?
it in the bottom half.
Click on it. I want to see like
Is it a 4-cylinder?
No, it's either a 6 or an 8. We don't know for sure.
what's the interior like.
I don't want to build it. I just want to see.
There we.
Oh, it's got wood.
It's got leather.
I have wood too. We do have some wood. That's good. Good wood.
Wow.
Wow, we got wood.
Oh, you can use
It looks nice.
WASD. It's like a
Now
video.
here's the thing. What do you get with all the trims that go beyond it? What's
looks
the-
nice.
more wood.
More wood. Okay.
I love the feel of those dial shifters in Jeeps.
I do too.
They feel nice.
This is kind of taking up a lot of space being right in the middle, but we don't want to do too much on the computer because no one's going to be able to see it. I could have screen recorded, but I didn't.
Now I'm a little bit more disappointed for this Jeep. I want the Summit Reserve.
Yeah, what the fuck?
We drove the Summit Reserve. I drove the Summit Reserve at Mama.
Was it nice?
Really nice. It had like a saddle-colored interior with like quilted leather and.
Gotcha.
No, because you did that, I want you to tell me if it's like
How
if
it
it's
compares.
worth it. Like what?
Okay. It had a
how
V6. That one did. The Summit.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see
I'll
how
report
that
back
is.
after this week if it's worth it.
Cool. You're looking forward to that car. We're going to be doing standard gamut of tests, fuel economy, all that jazz. So that'll be good. Then we have the Civic Si. That's actually outside right now.
That's a brilliant car. I drove it a little bit this morning. I was like, wow.
The ride is surprisingly good.
And
like
peak
really,
Honda
really good.
sound.
It is. It's not sharp or harsh, but it's firm. And
Yeah.
that's what I like about it.
Firm without being crashy. It looks okay. It looks decent. And interior is a little subtle. And in fact, the delivery guy was telling us that the Civic Si in Canada gets more features for less price. Let's see. I can't spell anything today.
That's the other thing I want to talk about. Why are Americans treated as a second class nation when it comes to cars?
We do get some dog shit. Although we also get some cool things like cool muscle cars and stuff.
Yeah,
that
we
a
get
lot of
muscle
other
cars,
countries
but
don't
when
get.
it comes to you got Europe, you get Ford. Ford is the main bad guy when it comes to this. You got all the compact cars, including the Ford Puma. Why on
That would sell so
earth,
well over here.
Why on earth would they think that we would rather have an Indian EcoSport with spiders versus a Puma
Yeah,
with Pumas?
I agree.
You can have,
Why-
you can have a Puma ST with a
That Puma,
6-speed.
oh, that's so cool, and it has an ST and everything. When do we get it? No, you don't. You get the EcoSport. And then China, you get the Equator, which is it's like a Mercedes Escape. That interior is absolutely amazing. Why don't we get that here? Why don't we just get all the same cars? Why do they focus so much time on making all these different cars for all over the different parts of the world? It's like, why?
I know.
And same thing with my Focus. You can get a 2010 Focus. It's okay here, but the one in Europe is
much
amazing.
nicer.
Same thing with the Fusion. The Fusion over here, it's really good. It's okay, but in
The
Europe,
Mondeo.
the Mondeo is even better. You got like all these nice screens, the interior, you got these red gates. It's like, why?
We just need to move.
Go to
Europe.
take over Top Gear's test track.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that in Europe you can't have the new Golf R with a manual transmission.
What?
Yeah.
Why in the world? It's
Look it
Germany. That's
Look
great.
it
I
up.
believe you.
Okay.
But that's
Yeah.
really stupid.
I want to know the minds of the people making these
know.
decisions. It's
I
like
think just simplify shit.
not only simplify, but why do they think these things are good ideas?
They probably have some sort of market research that we don't. So speaking of that, in Canada, the Civic Si gets heated seats, heated steering wheel, dual zone climate control, home link garage door integration, and a wireless smartphone charger, and costs $1,000 less than it does here.
Well,
What do they think? That
that's
Canadians are
Canadian
better than us?
dollars.
No.
It's
What?
not.
After exchange, it costs $1,000 less.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't had. Maybe they haven't had the amount of inflation that we've had over here.
No,
Maybe.
they've had it
I don't know.
worse.
They've had it worse.
Yeah.
I don't know
All right,
why,
well.
but either way, you get all those things.
Congratulations, Canada.
Canadian Civic Si.
Yep.
But other than that, it seems to drive well. We haven't driven it a bunch yet. Tune in next week. We'll give our thoughts and obviously all our reviews and everything. But
It is a brilliant car.
it should be pretty good. And pricing starts at 27.3.
You can-
Although there's probably destination on
You
top.
can
of
get
that.
the new Civic in a hatchback, right?
Yeah.
It's a paltry
the
hatch,
SI though.
But yeah, it's like one of those very slopey hatches that really isn't that hatchy. And then the last car we're getting is the Ford Maverick Hybrid, which is cool because we have a Ford Maverick gasser, and we're gonna get to compare them. So keep
The
an eye
Maverick
out
is
for.
an amazing car.
It's an amazing value, definitely. All you get for that price, I mean, it's just a fun, satisfying car to be in. You
And
get to
it's
feel
not
kind of
$1 million.
trucky. It doesn't cost that much. It provides you the features you need, the driving you need. And I'm interested to spend time with the hybrid because we would have bought a hybrid for our daily driver if we could have even gotten our hands
Yeah,
on
you
one.
can't. Hybrids are not. They're all sold out.
Pretty much
Well, they
un-
were for 2021.
Unless you got a dealer to give you one. Oh, Maverick just got delivered. Perfect. Unless you like call a dealer and someone decides not to purchase their order,
Yeah.
and you're like next in line, then you're not getting a hybrid until late next year.
Here's the thing that's always it's interesting about the Maverick because like they come out before it comes out with the car, they like hype it up like the Bronco. They hyped it up and everything. We had no idea they were going to come out with the Bronco Sport, but the Bronco Sport was brilliant, and the big Bronco is just it's good, but it's not like blow our mind away.
And especially from a sales standpoint. I mean, there was even an article recently that Ford straight up said, like, we did not expect the Maverick Hybrid to be this popular. It's like, wow, what a big surprise. You build something that's affordable, functional, kind of cool, and gets good gas mileage. People want to buy it.
They just threw it out, and they're like, nobody expected it. It's like, wow, holy cow, they did this. This is amazing.
The same thing with the Bronco Sport. Affordable, fun to drive, and practical.
Yep. I think that's kind of been the combination because Fords have always been a little bit dull over the past 5 years. Pretty much once they got out of the generation of the Focus, they were just a little bit dull and not much character. And I think now they're starting to get back into that character with the fun to drive, and they're giving their cars more spirit again.
Yeah, the facelifted Mustang was a little too smooth. I felt that way about all the ST cars as well, the Explorer and the Edge and everything. It's like, yeah, I get they're fast and they're capable and they're good.
The Explorer ST wasn't very smooth.
Well, you're right, but
that was rowdy a little.
It was missing a pizzazz that you get from some other brands. I thought. I know you liked it. And I know you liked the Explorer ST.
I didn't
I
love
like it,
it,
but I understand what you mean.
Yeah. You get in a Durango 392, and you're like, whoa, this is rough.
Well, that's
like,
because it's a Chrysler
That's
V8.
right. That's right.
Yeah. So it is cool that
Charlie likes it rough.
I do. The Ford is adding character and pizzazz to their cars again, some spunk, and I think that's good. I mean, even the new Bronco. I'm not a huge fan of the Bronco, but I respect the character that it has. Yeah.
It's cool. I would never ever own one. Pretty much the same way I'd never own a Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah.
The Bronco Raptor. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
The only thing is, which would you rather have, a Bronco Raptor or a Jeep Wrangler 392?
Wrangler 392. I don't even need to drive the Bronco Raptor.
Yeah, you just know it's not going to be, because the only reason
it'll be better, but for that reason, I will have the Jeep.
Yeah. It's the perfect.
The Bronco's better, but because it doesn't have a V8, it's not ridiculous. It doesn't. The whole point of a car like that, like you said, it's a trophy. The Wrangler acted like a trophy truck.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. That's the only reason why anyone would ever buy one of those cars is because they either want to show off or they want it to be ridiculous.
Wouldn't even get it to show off. It just makes me happy.
Exactly.
You want
but
the
also,
ridiculous.
if Ford put a Coyote in the Bronco, it still wouldn't be as good as the Wrangler 392.
True.
Yeah,
because they'd put a 10-speed automatic in it. And it would be great. It would be really fast, whatever. But it wouldn't snort and fart and like it just.
I know a Ford guy is going to be out there with a sniper through the window for me saying this, but I don't think the Coyote is as good as a 392 engine.
Well, it all depends on what you mean by good. I would say on paper it's a more impressive engine. It makes more power. Well, arguably, it's like the same amount of power with a higher red line and smaller engine. That's impressive. Yeah. But the way it makes you feel from behind the wheel is different. And I feel the same way about the Chevy's 6.2 as well. I love the 6.2, even though it's got push rods still. It's an old school motor, but the way it sounds and its character is what I'd rather have. I respect the V8 Mustang and the 5.0 and everything, but when I daily drive, I don't want to be ringing it out to $7,000 all the time. I want to just be rumbling up to 3,500 with a lot of torque and a lot of noise.
392.
Yeah, 392 or 6.2.
It's the same way I feel between even the 3.5 liter EcoBoost versus the 5.0. Like, yes, the EcoBoost, it's as fast. It's a very good engine, but I would rather have the 5.0 because of the fact that it's a V8. It would rumble more. It would be louder. And it's just the way it makes me feel. It's got more character than a V6 twin turbo.
To quote Top Gear, this is great. Sorry, this is brilliant, but I like this one.
Yeah, I would rather have
the Maserati. The Maserati Quattroporte Sport GTS effect.
Well, I was actually referring to the meme of the Up GTI and the Ford Fiesta.
That's right.
Yeah,
that was the actual meme.
Yep.
This is brilliant. But I like this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that really is
true.
true.
Went to Chernobyl in that episode.
That was a great episode.
That was a really good one.
And I think if there's something to wrap up on here today, it's and we kind of hit this theme a lot in both our testing and our videos and our opinions on cars. there are a lot of things that, yes, are very, very good on paper that are great cars, but there's a reason why you should or should not buy them that's maybe below the surface. And we're by no means experts, but just by having driven so many different cars and by driving these ones and kind of having a passion for it, we kind of pick out the certain reasons why, like Chris, for example, with those doors in the Taos, yeah, might not be like an on paper big deal sort of thing, but for him, that's something that's noteworthy, and I don't even know if it'd prevent you from buying the car, but like it's still something that comes out to you that you wouldn't just get from a spec sheet.
Right.
And I think us being able to kind of talk about those sort of things and be like, okay, yes, on paper, the Bronco or whatever might look much better than the Wrangler, and you might read basic reviews that say like, oh, you know, you should have the Bronco Raptor over this, but like when you really dig into which car are you more excited to go out and drive in, or like even if you're doing a stupid task like going to Starbucks, what's going to put a grin on your face?
Right.
That is more important a lot of times than the spec sheet.
That is to me 100% of the time.
And to quote Top Gear again, when Hammond and Jeremy were arguing about it was between the Viper and the Lexus LFA, and Hammond was like, but on paper, the Viper is the best. And Jeremy said, yes, Hammond, on paper, but on tarmac, the LFA is it's
the way to go.
Yep.
Yeah. 100% agree.
Right. And that's the thing. Like you can always compare a car on the spec sheet, but you really have to drive each car, because there are some cars I've looked at on paper, and it's like, all right, well, why on earth would I buy this over this? Because the specs are this. Mm-hmm. But then I drive both of them. It's like, wait a minute.
That's why.
Yep.
Cool. Well, thank you all so much for watching and listening. If you're just tuning in over the waves, the airwaves, we will be back next week to talk about the other cars we have coming in. We don't 100% know yet, but
and how the cars we drove this week.
Yep. Kind of hear our consensus. Hear if we can find any reasons why you shouldn't buy a Civic Si. I imagine there are going to be few. And we're going to report back on if our Jeep breaks, because I feel like that's always a 50% chance with any Jeep press cars.
We'll have a warning light.
Yeah, some sort of warning
light.
If I
get
come up on
rained on again.
Yep. And what's the third? Oh, and the Maverick. Yeah. Which Maverick is best Maverick?
Yes.
Yeah. Important questions here.
And
feel free to leave a comment on here if there's anything you want us to address, as long as it doesn't say, what was that? One moment.
That a
as long as it
Veloster
doesn't
would be a
end
Blackwing.
in dumb, 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 waste, waste, waste.
Yeah, don't.
And be sure to tell us about which cars your Veloster could be, because we're really curious. So thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one. We're Charlie and Chris and Nathan from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.